The Deputy Prime Minister is Barnaby Joyce. He joins us from beautiful Rockhampton right now. Were you doing burnouts at Rocky Nats a bit earlier, or you're a couple of days late, Barnaby Joyce?
A couple of 100 kilometres south. Look, we got the money for Rocky Nats, and that's incredibly important. And that's not the National Party. That is people with hotted up Chevy engines, 358 Chevy engines.
My people.
And that's that. Yeah, well, that's Central Queensland. You know, these people work in mines, and they're fitters and turners, boiler makers, diesel mechanics. And that's what blows their hair back. And good luck to them. We're not here to judge them. We're here to accept the culture, which is Central Queensland. That's Central Queensland.
This is it. Big R.M. Williams horns on the back, and off we go. Now, let's talk about Albo today, where he pretends that he's going to be, yeah, sure, if the mines stack up, we'll approve them. Only problem is, the fine print is, even if that happens, a carbon tax comes with them.
That's correct. I mean, Mr. Albanese, it's been a cartwheeling cluster. Let's be honest about this. This is disastrous. I mean, this fella is Billy McMahon without the big ears. He's the candidate that when people have a good look at him, they think, sorry, mate, I just can't vote for you. I mean, he started by not knowing common policy, such as the bank rate and unemployment figures. Then he stumbled over his own policy, which is turnbacks or not turnbacks, depending on which day you listen to him. Then he couldn't cost his own policies, such as the super clinics. And now he's lying about our policies, saying that, the scare campaign, that we're going to give pensioners and veterans a cashless debit card, which is just a lie. I mean, this guy, and then we always thought, but he's good on the ground. He's got that good patter on the ground. And so help me God, after everybody's seen politicians go to rugby league grand finals or AFL grand finals, we know what happens. This guy turns up to the Barnaby Blues Festival looking something between one of Nick Cave's bad seeds and Johnny Cash. And he gets booed out of the stadium. Please, God, Australia, don't make him your Prime Minister. Please don't do that.
Well, also, again, I keep talking about it. I said it a few times tonight because it is just that shocking to me. He even gets yes-no questions wrong. So on boats, you have to have all three of the options about TPVs, offshore processing and turnbacks. Right. And then he gets yes-no wrong about whether he's for TPVs or not. Then comes out and underlines the danger of saying we're going to take away one of the most significant parts of the deterrent to the people smuggling business. And as Jim Molan told Peter Credlin tonight, there's 8,000 Afghan refugees ready with a fistful of dollars to jump in a boat from Indonesia tomorrow. This is not some issue from 2001. It's a relevant, just like we've got a dam and the dam is working and this bloke is planning to start picking holes in it.
Yeah, and he just doesn't get, I don't know, he just doesn't get the geopolitical stuff. Out there's where our money is made. See, there you go. The industrial city of Gladstone. Australia, you should be really proud of it. The industrial city of Gladstone, the people of Gladstone are very proud of it. Out there, 2,000 kilometres off the Australian coast, the Chinese are trying to set up a naval base, and that will give them flyover capacity of here, right? Very dangerous. And, we have to make sure that we pick not the people we like, and it's the same line the Prime Minister and I are using it. You don't have to like your dentist. You just have to know when the drill's in your mouth that they don't put it through your tongue. We have to pick a competent team. And this guy, I'll be frank, and I've said it before, if Joel Fitzgibbon was the leader of the Labor Party, I'd be worried. I'd say, mate, this is going to be a really close run thing. But this fella, I was worried about him a few years ago, but now you see him up close, you go, hey, mate, he's not even close to being good enough to do the job. And, we're seeing it in grand form. How long has he had to prepare for this? How long, man? How many nights did he have free to do his homework? And instead, I don't know what the hell he was doing. It's like Zoolander preparation, looking in the mirror and saying, that's it, blue steel, it works for me. I'll go out and knock him dead with that.
Yeah.
And he just made it. disastrous.
But also, what does it say about his tactic, right? Which is because he can't remember his own policy, he's ditched the daily announcement. Instead, today, full attack, lots of lies. Media has to cover it because we've got to cover everything 50-50. They don't call out any of the lies. I mean, that has been rather effective for a couple of years getting him close. I don't know that it's enough to get him over the line, but is it enough to get him to a reset where he can have another crack at what he screwed up last week?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I walk around Gladstone, I walk around other areas, central Queensland, around my own electorate, Hunter Valley. People aren't dopey. You know, we think the Canberra Press Gallery and inside the Fourth Estate and that crazy boarding school called Parliament House, I got it fascinated about, it's an integrity commission and commission about integrity and everybody's going to be worried about that. Nobody out here is talking about that. They might be in certain areas, but they're not talking about it here. They're talking about, have I got a job? Even when he says, he supports the coal mining industry, mate, you're reducing the safeguard mechanism. You're actually going to tax the people out of their job. And while you're at it, you say you're worried about the cost of fuel. Guess who else you're taxing? The fuel refineries. We've only got 2 left. Let's get rid of them. Send them over to Singapore as well, you clown. It's the whole thing. He's hamstrung to the Greens. He's hamstrung to the left wing of his own party. And we just can't do this to our country. Please, Australia, don't do this to our country. It is serious times, really serious times. And we just can't. This guy's had enough time. He talks about 10. We've had 10 years and go, mate, he's had 10 years in opposition. 10 years to go home at night and do his homework. 10 years to send people out, working out policy. 10 years. And this is what you get. Mate, if you're going to the HSC, you're going to go back and do it again next year because you're not going to pass.
Yeah, he's cramming desperately the night before and it doesn't make up for actually doing the work. Barnaby, nice to talk to you, and I'm glad that you're fighting the fight there in regional Queensland and for regional communities all over the country. Thank you, mate.